The holidays are here, and I want to share the very first holiday film that I got to see, Candy Cane Lane, starring Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross. It's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by CritiX.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, pop culture, and if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have had the opportunity to check out my very first Christmas movie of 2023, Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Candy Cane Lane. That's right. Directed by Reginald Hudlin, the gentleman who brought us House Party, and also Safety on Disney Plus. I highly recommend that movie, by the way. It was slept on. It came out during the pandemic, based on a true story. Great film. And that film also stars Thaddeus J. Mixon, who's actually in Candy Cane Lane. He plays Eddie Murphy's son, Nick. Now, without further ado, let's talk about what Candy Cane Lane is and what did I think. First of all, it stars Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jillian Bell, DC Young Fly. There's also an appearance from David Allen Greer. There are a lot of other comedians in this thing. You've got Nick Offerman in this. You have Chris Redd in this from SNL. There are a ton of stand-up comedians and comedians that you're probably familiar with out there in today's industry. But there are also some new faces that you probably wouldn't recognize. But the thing is jam-packed with a lot of funny people. The film follows Eddie Murphy. He's a great father. He's a great family man. He's all about the Christmas spirit. He loves Christmas, and so does his neighborhood. He lives in this neighborhood that every year they all do their thing and they put their decorations up and they kind of compete for who has the best decorations in town. But this year, the stakes are a little bit higher. It's going to be televised, and the winner of this thing wins this grand old prize, so to speak. So Eddie Murphy sets his sights on trying to be the best at what he does, and that is bringing the Christmas spirit into his home, well, from his home and out onto the street. So in this, he ends up finding this mysterious, magical store run by Jillian Bell, who's an elf. And in this, he gets the decorations he needs, but they come with a bigger price, and he has to somewhat. The trailer doesn't give you all of this, which is criminal because I feel like this part of the plot is what really makes this movie interesting because you just think it's like when you watch the trailer you don't really get all of those details, but he has to finish a task in order to save himself and save Christmas for his family, of course. But what did I think about this film? Okay, the film is extremely fun. I'm not even going to lie. I went into this thing thinking, well, I love Eddie Murphy. Who doesn't love Eddie Murphy? He's a classic comedian, very genius at what he does. But let's be real. The last couple of things were hit or miss, specifically surrounding one of his biggest franchise. Well, not franchise, but one of his biggest properties ever coming to America. Wasn't received well by a lot of people. Not even myself. I was not a fan of what they did to Come Into America, the sequel. I will tell you this. I did like the Dolomite movie. I thought Dolomite was cool. And he's done some other stuff along the way that I was really a fan of, but they weren't really in the comedy realm at all. But this film, it's fun. I found myself smiling from the very beginning of this movie all the way to the end. It has great music. The soundtrack is fun. They're playing music that you're familiar with. They're playing new music in this thing, but it's all like in the holiday spirit. Seeing Eddie on this side of things and that family dynamic, he's not trying too hard, and he looks like he's having a lot of fun. This gave me high hopes for future projects that I'm like, he looks like he's here to work, like he's having a good time around with his kids, with Tracy Ellis, with all the key players in this movie. He's doing a really, really great job. So through that heart, through him, and through the young girl that's in this film with him that plays his daughter, I really, really enjoyed this movie a lot. It is very family oriented. It's very heartfelt. You may even, shed a tear or something just from the happiness and the joy of the film and everything that's going on. Everybody plays a really nice part in this movie. And I gotta be real, a lot of times DC Young Fly, he's a lot. he's a little bit too much for me, and I really really enjoyed his role in this because it was necessary. Now, there are some moments in this thing that feel very on purpose, very cheesy, in a sense where, like some Disney films, and this is not a Disney film, but some Disney films, when they cast a certain young individual, they tend to want to showcase that individual's talents and abilities, and sometimes it could come off like jammed in. Like, I understand that these kids are talented and there's things that they can do, but there's moments in this movie where it's like, all right, you just wanted to give us a montage of this kid's abilities and talents outside of what the plot and the storyline really is. That's fine. It's cool. That I take as like that's just for kids. They just wanted to just grab the attention of the children in case they were losing them at this point of the movie, but it still works for the character. Not so much the plot, but it works for the character. And that was probably the only bad thing that I had to say about this because it doesn't feel too long. It's very funny. It's very family oriented. You're gonna smile. I'm telling you right now. You're gonna watch this movie. You're gonna sit down with your kids, your family, and you are gonna smile throughout this movie because it just feels good throughout. I can't even lie. It's been a really long movie here, and I've seen some things, and it was really like a breath of fresh air to watch this movie with a smile on my face and just you know go into this with minimal expectations and being just wild and overwhelmed with a good feeling, and that's what I got from this movie. So the holidays are here, ladies and gentlemen, and Candy Cane Lane is one of the first to bring it out because I know there's other holiday movies that are dropping right now, but this one here is definitely paving the way for the holiday season for me, and my spirits are lifted. Thank you, Reginald Hudlin. Thank you, Eddie Murphy, and the rest of the crew. I had a damn good time watching Candy Cane Lane, and I hope you do too. You guys, let me know. Are you excited for this movie? Did you even know it was coming out? Because I know a lot of people who didn't even know Eddie Murphy was doing a Christmas movie. It's going straight to Amazon December 1st. Make sure you guys are checking out Candy Cane Lane, starring Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross, David Allen Greer, DC Young Fly. It is such a good time. And just, let me know. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.